my heart, it's autumn in my mind. It is not necessarily autumn outside in the world. My good grief, it's like being on the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. Let me tell you, my therapist would not have been impressed with me this morning. So I just got back from a networking type event, and the place it was being held at, they had free teas and coffees. I love that for me. So I asked the lady at the little coffee shop if I could have a coffee, and she automatically made me a cappuccino. I'm lactose intolerant. I don't see her make this coffee, otherwise I would have stopped her, because I'm busy networking. I'm busy trying to overcome my inner introvert. And when she hands it to me, immediately I'm like, if I drink this, I'm going to poop my pants. Panic, just panic. And instead of doing the correct thing, which would have been, I am so sorry, I'm lactose intolerant, is there any chance you could make me a black coffee instead? Which would have been a completely reasonable and in no way offensive thing to do. I was like, thank you so much. I didn't drink the whole thing, but I will be staying in the house for the next 1 to 2 hours just in case. So overcoming my people-pleasing tendencies, it's kind of like a 2-step forward, 1 step back situation. Anyway, hi, welcome to the vlog. My name's Amy, if you're new. I'd like to say it's not always this way, but it kind of is. I'm just an ordinary girl working on creating her dream life and figuring out how the heck that works and taking you all along for the journey. You are here for the highs, the lows, and everything in between. And what can I say? Sometimes that involves oversharing. Can we take a second for this outfit? This is one of my favorite dresses I've ever owned. Peep the shoe. The problem is, it is now freaking enormous on me. It's elasticated, so it should fit like this, but it's really baggy. I don't think you can tell though. And you know what? I thought about selling it on Vinted. I was like, it doesn't fit, girl, let it go. What would Marie Kondo say? But it brings me joy, so I'm just gonna keep wearing it anyway. And I'm really ushering in autumn. Like, I'm grabbing it with 2 hands, and this is the epitome of an autumn dress. I was gonna wear it with suede boots, but it is actually like unseasonably warm out right now. It's autumn in my heart, it's autumn in my mind. It is not necessarily autumn outside in the world. So yeah, on that note, we're gonna do an autumnal vlog, because I'm going to be decorating my room with all of my little pumpkins and my little spooky ooky things this weekend. We're going to be doing some autumn baking. Autumn is my favorite. Although actually, if we're being completely honest, my idea of autumn that I have in my head is my favorite, because every year, without fail, I'm envisioning autumn to be like Gilmore Girls autumn. Crunchy leaves, hot chocolate, pancakes at Luke's, that slight chill in the air, light jacket kind of weather. But the reality is I live in South Wales, so the majority of autumn is just dark and wet. So I love the idea of autumn. I don't necessarily love the reality that we get. But hey, we're embracing it this weekend anyway. That is exactly what we're going to be doing. Starting with my autumn dress. Sorry, I'm being so weird. I've had so much freaking caffeine today. And milk, which may or may not poison me. We'll see. We're gonna go out and get breakfast at a new breakfast spot I spotted last week at the marina. I haven't had any coffee yet, so I feel like I'm going to collapse. Let's go remedy that. Those pancakes were beyond incredible. They were truly the best pancakes I've ever had in my life, and I'm not saying that to be hyperbolic. I'm not saying that to be dramatic. I'm not saying that for a fact. That is true. I'm stuffed. I ate about half. I have the other half in a box downstairs. It's just sitting on the counter taunting me because I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to eat anything ever again because that's how full I am. It's now 2:45. And that's not because I spent so long at breakfast, that's just because I came home. I thought to myself, okay, I'm gonna do something productive, and then I've just sat here and I don't actually know what's happened. Has that ever happened to you? You're like, okay, let me go do something, and then you get distracted, and then all of a sudden it's like 2 hours later and you're like, oh, what's happened? Where did that time go? That happens to me more and more frequently. Anyway, let's actually go do something. So it's gonna be October soon, and it feels like just yesterday I was prepping my Halloween gravestones in July, and now we're almost like into the thick of it. I'm going to spend a little bit of time setting up images for our Halloween projector. Throughout October we have a projector in the upstairs window with like a countdown to Halloween for when it's dark out. We had it last year for the first time, and the people who live directly across the road, they have a young grandson, and she told us that he was just living for it. He would like go over to their house in the evenings and like look out the window waiting for us to play the projection. So if Oliver is the only person who takes any joy from that projection, that's enough for me. So I'm going to get all of those sorted, ready, and make sure that I'm not missing any. Get them onto a USB stick or a hard drive, and then test everything out on the projector. See, this is how waylaid I was. I have everything set out to do this task. I even still have my half full can of Coke. Literally, I just went upstairs to get my laptop, and then I was distracted for 2 hours. My laptop just died on me, which I am taking as a sign from the universe to stop and move. Because so far, I feel like I'm just finding problems. So it turns out I cannot find all of the projection files that I made for last year. So I'm gonna have to remake them all again. Not ideal, don't really love that for me because it is quite a boring and time-consuming task. You know what, at least I figured this out today and not in 2 weeks' time. But I am definitely done as far as computer stuff goes for today because my brain feels like mush. Just got into my car and realised that I must have accidentally rolled the back window down in my car yesterday, because I just got in and the window was a little down and it's been raining. So it's a little bit damp. I hate vlogging on my phone because no matter where I look, it is not the correct place. I'm not even really sure where the camera is. Anyway, my plan for today is to start putting up some of my autumnal decorations in my room, but I need to get some paint first because where I have the big mandala on my wall, there's some discoloration from the paint, so hopefully they'll have it in stock. I went last week and they didn't have any. I just need a little bit to cover up that ring because otherwise when I take that off the wall to put my wreath up, it looks really bad. It looks really dirty. They still don't have it. It's ruining my whole transition into autumn because I can't put up that wreath with that big old brown mark on the wall. I was stood there and I saw that still the only one that's out of stock is the one that I want. And I was filled with like such intense rage at the situation that I realized I am not properly caffeinated and I need to immediately go and get a coffee. Because if I don't have enough caffeine in my system, I'm a demon. I am a demon. And that's how I feel right now. The demonic presence is rising up in me. We need coffee. Okay, I'm feeling more human now, less demon. Truly just was a caffeine imbalance in my brain. I feel at a little bit of a loss now because my plan was to paint that wall and put out all of my autumnal decorations this afternoon. That's not gonna happen. So I'm sitting around, I'm twiddling my thumbs, I'm thinking, what am I gonna do with the day? It's raining out, I was meant to go for a run, I don't wanna run in the rain. And then I'm like, why do cardio when I can just bake chocolate chip cookies instead? Something about autumn just, it feels like a good time to bake. I keep seeing people all over my TikTok FYP making like brownies and caramel, cinnamon, maple syrup cookies. You know, like really elaborate bakes. I'm just baking cookies from the student cookbook I've had since I was like 18, where we measure with a literal mug. Very basic recipe, but 10 out of 10. Everyone who's tasted these cookies has said they're incredible and they're so easy. Well, there's a break in the rain, I think, and that means I should go for a run. It's exactly a week since I ran my first 10k, and I haven't run at all this week because I hurt my foot during that run, and it's finally feeling good. Finally, all of the pain is gone. I know that I need to get out there and I need to run. Number one, just to like check my foot and make sure that everything is feeling good, and number two, because now there is no end goal that I'm working towards. Like when I was training for the 10k, I had to keep getting out and running because I was working towards something specific and I wanted to achieve that. But now it would be really easy to lose all momentum because I don't have to go out and run. And this is what happened to me the first time I started running. This is what happened to me the second time I started running, is that I reached my goal and then I was like, oh, okay, I'm done. And I don't want to do that. I want to keep running, but it's really easy to do, or it is easier to do when you are working towards a specific goal and you're training for something specific, because you know that you have to put the work in to get to where you're going. But if there's nothing that you're working towards, it's a bit like, oh, maybe I won't run today. It's not going to impact me in any way. So now it's just purely down to self-control and commitment, which are really hard things to have. Oh, for goodness sake. I just knew it. I just knew as soon as I got in my car, as soon as I committed to running, that the rain was going to start coming down, and it is coming down pretty hard. I mean, at least that will motivate me to run faster. I suck at this. Coffee, 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 coffee. The caffeine is calling to me. I need it. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier, but last night I decided to look and see if they had the paint for my wall on Amazon, and they did. Next day delivery. I've been trying to find this paint for a week and a half. I don't know why I didn't think to check online. My brain is living in the 90s apparently. Natural Hessian. That is the colour I used when I first painted these walls. So logically, I should just be able to paint over this mark and we should be good. Look at that, it's so grim. Also, there's a big mark right there because that's where I always sit. That's really bad actually, my gosh. Now there is a very real possibility that I've just made that worse. It's really hard because it's so dark today. I know it doesn't look like it because I've got the light on, but it is. It's so dark and it's so difficult to see what the heck you're doing. So I guess I just have to wait for it to dry and hope it looks okay. It does not look good right now. Okay, it's been about an hour and it does seem to be getting better with time. It is still wet though, but I think I can put up the rest of my spooky autumnal decorations. We'll just leave the wall for later on, or maybe tomorrow. But other things can go up now. I'm not convinced with this setup. I can't remember how I had it last year, but this just looks off to me somehow. Oh, I don't know. Ugh, something about that just doesn't look right. Anyway, I'm moving on from that and I'm going to switch my pictures around. I have this great hack where I have all my photos on my wall with command strips.
And then I keep seasonal prints in the frames. So at Halloween and Christmas, I just need to flip the pictures around.
So here's the Halloween one. Good freaking lord, it truly is Halloween. I was just leaning over to stick that photo frame back on the wall and I could see something out of the corner of my eye. Look at him. He just popped down right to my eye level within about ½ an inch of my face. Like, good grief, it's like being on the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. He just like popped down right here. You stay in your space and I'll stay in mine. Do you know what probably happened? Maybe his web was attached to the photo frame because he looks all bothered at the moment. I don't want to get involved with this. Spiders? No. I don't want to deal with this. Oh, good lord, this is ridiculous. I'm being intimidated by a spider in my own room. He said it's not big enough for the both of us in here. He's gonna stop building a wall soon. Keep me out. Dad?
Yeah?
I'm having a spider-related issue. So my dad just pointed out that the reason this paint is not drying is not because it's not drying, it's because I got the glossy kind and not the matte kind. I want to be one of those like DIY girlies, you know, but I just don't see that in my future.